Indeed, and I'll ask you now in that context. I've got some more questions about staffing, but I wanted to drill down into a statement from the Minister for Industry. I've got that statement here if you want it. And I can... it might not need the context of this statement, but sometimes the government demands it. But I think in this case, you'll understand that the Ministry for Industry recently stated that CSIRO had been asked to determine the capability of CSL to manufacture COVID vaccines.
Yes, Senator. We've been working with CSL for many years and collaborating with them on various projects and ideas over that period. We have been engaging with CSL in regard to that work and collaborating with them. We've had, at the time, back in late August, in particular, the work that was going on in relation to CSL considering its ability to undertake a number of vaccine manufacturing activities at the one time. So we worked with them to actually look at their planning, make sure that we were considering all options with them, basically, helping them critique what they were going to be doing. And, we have obviously access to a number of technical experts that can do that with them in that regard. Noting, of course, that, CSL is an iconic Australian company with global reach in that regard. So that collaboration's been going extremely well. We're continuing to work with CSL, and in fact we're actually seconding some of our staff to CSL to assist on the manufacturing floor, for want of better language, with them at the moment, and we'll continue to do that, particularly if we have, if CSL is successful with the vaccines that are under development.
So, in that context, have you been auditing CSL to help assure CSIRO and CSL that they're in a position to manufacture vaccines? What process have you been through?
Basically continuing to work together to make sure that the planning work that's going on is as well developed as possible, and keeping in contact. We have a good relationship with CSL. And I'm pleased to say we're trusted.
Or I'm sure on one hand you've got scientific
regard.
And technical work, but are you part of the quality assurance process to see if this is possible?
It might be easier. Senator, I'm going to use the UQ vaccine because it's a very tangible example.
Yeah.
When a university invents a vaccine candidate, it's a microscopic quantity. It can't really be used. So we had already scaled up the UQ candidate at our facility in Clayton, and CSL was depending on that ability to scale up so that they could figure out how to manufacture the UQ vaccine. And we'd worked extensively with them on that piece of work. There's a similar issue that they have to deal with the AstraZeneca vaccine, which is quite far ahead of the UQ. And so they wanted to leverage that facility, those people, and our joint experience to see whether there was a way we could get there faster. And CSL, by the way, is actually going to try and manufacture both vaccines, and anything that we can do to help them do that more efficiently will only speed up the time to get a successful vaccine, and that's the reason we're doing it.
Excellent. I think that answers my second question, which was CSIRO's specific involvement in relation to the development and manufacture of the vaccine. What are you able to tell us about the prospects of how that process is going?
So I'm not sure what we're technically
the whole world's looking for the panacea of a successful vaccine, and I'm very glad to see that CSIRO and CSL are, well down the path of making this viable. There's trials and there's all sorts of things to do before it's firmed up. So I'm really just interested in, I know science is not about optimism, but you always also have to have your eye on the ball in terms of a goal, because science is also about that inspiration and pursuit of that goal. What are your thoughts about the prospect of a CSL vaccine?
Senator, it might be easier to sort of... So we talk with the AstraZeneca people fairly frequently, as we do with our peers around the world. They're, I think, on the record actually that they're coming close to the end of their phase 3 clinical trial, which is a very big milestone.
Yeah.
Once they have actually completed that trial, I think the prospects become quite good, because so far there don't appear to have been significant events. Now there'll be some follow-up needed beyond that, and the regulatory agency in the UK will want to do that follow-up, but it is a significant milestone. So it might be more appropriate if we answer that question maybe in February estimates.
No, and